Hello, everyone. Welcome to Optimistic Planning. My name is Kadeen, and I'm super excited to start this journey with you. This channel is about taking small, actionable steps towards financial freedom, and that's getting out of debt, saving more, or simply spending within our means. If that sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I wanted to introduce myself. This is my first video. A little bit about me. I really decided in 2025 I want to take my financial life and journey in my hands and be more intentional about budgeting. I've been using cash stuffing for the last 2 months, and I've really fallen in love with the concept and the organization of it. I'm currently using the debt snowball method to get out of around $46,000 worth of debt. And I am really excited to start getting into digital planning and tailor it to myself and how I like to think and how I like to budget. My goal with this channel is to share my progress, keep myself accountable, and hopefully inspire and learn from others on how they are budgeting and becoming financially free. The flow of this video is going to be me going through my current setup because, again, I have been budgeting using the cash stuffing method for 2 months now. Then I'd like to talk a little bit more about my financial goals for 2025, close out March, and do a little bit of April planning. And so that's my thoughts for this video. I thought we could get a little bit more intimate and up close. And so this is my current setup. I use my iPad to plan and budget so that I know what can go into my envelopes. I'm going to start with going through my envelopes first and then go into the digital planner that I created. I received this envelope from, I think the Etsy shop is BreloviaGifts. I'll link it below. So just in case anybody wants to see or purchase this, I just think it's really cute texture, and also the quality is pretty good. And so I've been liking it. I was a little nervous about the white, but I've been keeping it clean, so super excited about that. Originally the binder came with these papers. Isn't much use to me, so I decided just to take them out, and I probably won't use them, and maybe I will find some way, but currently I'm just holding them just in case I do need them. The binder's pink inside, which I thought was girly and cute. I bought these envelopes from Amazon, which I'll link also below. And these trackers came in another binder that I had gotten, and so I've just been using them. I created these inserts. I know a lot of the community currently has like the labeling on the envelopes, but currently, like, I want the flexibility to change it up whenever I feel like, one, and two, I am just starting, so I don't fully know exactly what I need. And so as I grow, as I, understand and get a handle of my budget, I want to have the flexibility. So I bought a laminator and printed these out there. And so my current setup is groceries in my personal spending binder, groceries, make hubby smile, my husband, dates and stuff like that. I actually really enjoy planning stuff for him, for us. And so I have a date budget. I have a personal. I haven't been using it. Like, one of the great things about cash stuffing for me thus far is that, like, I don't want to spend the money. even though I will and I have to because I have to live, and though I'm budgeting, I still want to live well. I haven't spent anything from personal thus far, so it's starting to get a little beefy. So is my shopping. I thought this was so cute. Little women with their shopping bags. Then I have, this is for my house. I begrudgingly just paid my HOA dues, which increased. And so all of that money came out of here. I also stuff for our house cleaning, which is every 2 weeks. My husband and I go back and forth on who pays it. And because I had HOA, he's lovingly and kindly been paying for the last month. And so this month in April, I do plan to start stuffing it a bit heavily so that I can help out with that fee. Then our car. My plan with this is to have for any like any maintenance that's necessary, car tires. I do eventually later on hope to kind of dissect that out and have like a tire envelope, a gas envelope and things like that. But for right now, I think it's perfectly fine for me just to stuff everything in this. So anything that deals with the car, also our car washes, things like that, will be going in here. Then gifts, anyone's gifts. I do later on hope also to be able to divide based on the people who are the closest to us. So our moms, our dads, our siblings, and things, and our best friends. I'm hoping to have personal envelopes for that, but for right now, just stuffing it all together. And then finally is miscellaneous, which has nothing, but it will soon, I'm hoping. I want this to be essentially a buffer for my spending because I have been going a bit over budget on certain things, and I do need and will, figure out how to kind of find a good medium for each of these envelopes, excuse me, so that I don't, or hopefully I won't have to dip into my miscellaneous, but it is here and I do plan to stuff it soon. So that's my envelopes right now. I'm not going to go through how much I have in each. However, that will be for probably this Friday when I do my first stuffing with my upcoming first April paycheck. But that's my current setup. So, yeah, that is my current setup. I do not cash stuff the lump sum of my checks. I currently get paid weekly. I'm a contractor. And so I portion out just my spending, which is what goes in here. I have other binders that I've purchased that I am not going to focus on right now just because I'm trying to get a handle of my spending. And so I'm just going to stick with this one binder. And later down the line, we'll go through how I set up those other binders and the purpose of them. But for right now, one binder is working and I want to get strong with this muscle. So one binder for right now. Now I want to move over into my actual planning. I digital plan, like I mentioned, and I created this planning planner on Canva just so that it's super personal to me, and it's a living, breathing document. And if I find other planners online that I like, I will switch. But for right now, I thought it would be cool for me to do this myself. I found this really cool quote by Tony Robbins. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. And I really thought that would really set a great tone for my 2025 as I want to be able to see everything that I'm doing and really take control of my spending this year. And so, in talking about that, I had three goals that I really want to execute on in 2025. By December 31st, I want to be able to say I paid off my credit card debt. I saved 1 month ahead on my bills, which is about $4,600. And I had at least 9 months of on budget spending. I am using this little tracker at the bottom, which I thought was super cute, to track that. February, I accidentally erased this earlier, but February I was on budget, and we will see if I am on budget in March when we close out March, and so I'll be coming back here consistently. One, to remind myself of my goals, and two, to track if I've been on budget. So this is my overview, and this is for March in particular. I have like my special events that I log here, and then also mark them and color code them on the little cute little calendar. And then I have like an overview of my income, my cash envelopes, and like my funds, which is my debt, bills, and buffer. Um, this is not perfect. I also deleted any of like the totals or what my bills account gets each month, just because I really want to hyper focus on my spending. And so currently I'm averaging about like 740 every week that goes towards spending and goes towards this binder. My cash envelopes, I had budgeted out kind of what I thought and what I wanted to kind of like execute, put towards my spending here. And as we close this out, we'll write down what we actually used, and if anything is remaining. Debt, I wanted to put at least $1,200 towards debt. My bills, which are fixed, right? It comes out to about $4,500. And then I wanted a buffer of $506. Let's see if we got there. And so, yeah, that is my monthly overview. I write down people's birthdays, any interviews that I have, this is take my ring back to Kay's to get it cleaned. So any little thing that I know I will be doing, I typically try to have them here, because I do look at this daily. In April, I actually really forgot that it was 5 weeks, even though the calendar's right here, Kadeen. But I forgot, and so I had to add in a little section here. And so going forward, I will be ensuring that if it's 5 weeks, I'll have a 5 week line item here on the monthly overview. Okay, so don't get overwhelmed, because I know it's a lot happening on this page, but this is my weekly budget. Up here is my spending is broken out into what I project, which is connected to the overview page, what I project for the month, what I currently have in my envelopes, and what I stuff per week. And again, I forgot week 5, so I had to share week 4 and week 5, had to share a line item. And then all of my expenses, which again are a bit fixed. And so I have the due date, the actuals, the changes. And over here, I'm hoping this is again, one of my goals is to get 1 month ahead for 2025, but the end goal is to at least have 6 months ahead. So I have like a sinking fund section here, that will show the balance and my goal. Then I have my debts down here. These little notes are just things that I noted during the course of the month that I thought were important to think about. And so because I'm doing the snowball method, I am organizing them and ranking my debts in order. I think I said earlier that I'm about $46,000 in debt. In March, I was about $48,000 in debt. And so I've made progress and ridiculously ecstatic about that. And so I do the due dates, the start, the end, the amount that I pay, that I actually pay, whatever I paid. I try to mark it in green to know that I've paid it. And so I do need to mark this off because it did come out of the account and this has not come out of the account. So we will do that. And then I just made some extra notes. Right here is my cash denomination. So when I go to the bank, I know exactly what denomination I need to pull for that week. This section has changed in April, and we'll see that later on. But I thought it'd be nice just to have it as a one pager for March, and it did work, but changed it around a little bit in April. And then I had sinking funds. I have my goals here. They're lofty goals, but that is what we're here for, to know what we're aiming for. And so I really, me and my husband spent a lot of time thinking through what the goals should be. And these are our current goals for some of our sinking funds. So that is March. Before we go to April, I do want to close everything out, and we'll probably speed through some of the calculations that I'm going to do, but I do want to kind of show you how I'm going through. All right, so I took the time, calculated everything, what I used, what is remaining, and I wanted to highlight and focus really on just the two areas that I thought I need to think through. One is my grocery. I budgeted $440, but ended up using $546. I currently have $119, and so I really need to rethink what that looks like. I'm also trying to keep in mind that I did have 5 weeks to contend with when it comes to March. And so I'm not going to increase it a hell of a lot, but I really should consider increasing it because it has been a struggle. This number doesn't even include some of the money that my husband has put in to groceries. And so I do need to increase this budget. Yeah. Something else I noticed is that my bills actually came out $56 more than I had thought they would be. And that just might have been just bad calculation on my end. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to still use this as my bouncing off of for next month. So we'll see. We'll see. I've already filled out my April monthly budget overview. I have my HOA fee, which again, I paid for already. It is due on the 1st, so I submitted that transaction already. I have a physical and an interview, which are highlighted in blue. And then I have some birthdays in April, a lot of birthdays in April, actually. And so if anything else gets added to my April events, I will be consolidating all of the birthdays probably into one or two lines, especially since they're all in like the same week, or they've paired off into the same week. So we'll see. What I also did was to approximate how much per paycheck I get in my like spending budget, and I'm saying $740, and so that's what I'm gonna bounce off of. I'm not gonna fill this in yet just because I want the actuals here, but I'm averaging and thinking that it's going to be $740 every week. I have gone ahead and used my March to estimate and budget what I think my debt and my expenses are going to look like. And so I was able to do $2,000, 2,100 in debt last month. And so I'm going to use that as a good marker. I'm super excited about that. it just gets me to paying down debt even faster. And then also my expenses, I'm thinking probably $4,500 is where I'm going to land this month. I made a note that I do want to buy a rug for my living room. And so I'm thinking of doing a 9 by 12. And so I am going to figure out how to budget for that. Now, towards my April weekly budget, I spent the time and inputted the due dates. I know that they were going to change here and there, but I wanted the typical days. And so I've inputted those. I've also spent the time to calculate my 30% limit. I hope you guys know, like for credit cards, once you're under 30%, you typically don't have a big decrease in your credit. And so I'm trying to get all of my credit cards to that, which is my Chase and my Capital One. And then I'd love to hit, my personal loan. I'd love for that to also hit 30%. So I'm just keeping these numbers here as a way to motivate and remind me of where I'm headed. Next is my expenses. I have my monthly sinking fund here. And similar to the 30% goal, I'm also having this goal as like a where I'm trying to get to. This is for 6 months. My current goal for 2025 is to only get a month ahead. But if we're able to get further than that, of course, I'm going to welcome that. But so because I'm welcoming that, I'm trying to keep in mind what it would look like for me to be 6 months ahead. So I have those numbers there. Next is my spending, and it's the same as last month. I kept this the same just because it's worked. Now, I reordered this because I want to be very clear with myself on what my priorities are. My debt is my priority, and so that should be top. My expenses, they're going to come, and they come every month. So that's second. And then my spending, which is a luxury, honestly, is last. And so that is going to be the new look for April of how my weekly budget is. So let me put this aside. The first thing I want to do is to actually put an order to my debt like I did last month. We're going to ignore the LS couple. My husband's handling that. And so I'm just keeping it there for when I get to pay down both of my credit cards and, I have more capacity to help him out as well. But right now, my Chase is my number one. My Capital One would be number two. My Nelnet is 3, and my personal loan is 4. And the reason for that is based off of the actual principal, the balance of each of them. Again, I do the snowball method, so I'm doing it in order no matter of the interest rates or anything, just based on the balance. So starting balance for my personal loan is $23,730.94. Said that number wrong, but then for my Capital One, I have $4,558.18. Then for my Chase is $1,026.13. For my Nelnet, which is my student loans, I have 17,631.72 cents. Okay, perfect. All right. So let me do the total of the total and then monthly. So 23, 7, 3. So my total debt is $46,946.97. Um, my payment for my student loans is the same. And then let me look at what I pay for my $549.76. 549.76. That's my monthly payment for my personal loan. My Capital One, I think it's 169. I'll double check that later. And then my Chase came down to 43 because I paid so much down last month. I'm not going to do my expenses right now because I do need to go through and now towards my spending, I am going to utilize last month to be able to project this month. And so spending, I'm going to do $1,000. Sorry, hear me spending, saving, which I use for my debt right now. Later on, once I get rid of my debt, I will be able to actually save this money, but I'm using this savings category to use to pay down my debt. So I'm going to do $1,000 there. And the current balance right now is $0 because I have nothing in there. So, you know what? Let me do this. And this is a cool feature. I can put these side by side. Let me do this. I can put these side by side so that I can just view them together versus having to go back and forth. And so I've put my March weekly and my April weekly together, and you can actually see the difference now in them. It's like cleaner, more condensed versus here, but love them both. So groceries, I did 440 last time, but like I said, I do need to increase it. And so I'm hoping to let's start by just adding I'm gonna say $60. So I'm gonna do 500 as a projection right now. I currently have 119 in there. I remember from 119. For dining, I did 160 last month adding. I'm gonna do that again, but maybe because I am increasing grocery, let me do 100 because I do actually already have $60. 160 I think should be fine next month for our dates. So that's the current balance. Clothes. This is probably something I can decrease too, but summer is coming, and so I do want to let me keep it the same. I think it's worth keeping the same so I can get some new clothes. So 140. The current balance is 185. All right. All right. So now car is I had 60 and I think that's perfectly fine. 60. Current balance is 65. Personal, I have 48 there, which I think is actually really fine. Personal 48. And current balance is 65. For gifts, gifts, I think 20 should be fine too. It is going to be depleted in April. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say I'm gonna say 20 again. It's fine. $45, which is not a lot. But again, my priority is to have, is other areas. So in house, I'm going to say I need to increase this because this is the typical cost for one of our maid service, and they come bi-weekly. And so I really think I should probably be putting $200 in here. So I'm going to say $200. And then I currently have $0. Oh, I forgot this, 45. And then buffer, I'm hoping to have $200 as well. And that currently has $200. All right. And so that is the current state of my planning. I'm going to reorganize this because I did move this around. All right. And so, yeah, that is our look at April currently. That is the look of April right now. And so super excited to start this journey with you guys. If you are on a similar journey, please let me know in the comments what's your biggest financial goals this year. Let's support each other and make 2025 the year where we really take control of our money. I really hope that you all enjoyed this video. I will be cash stuffing this Friday or Saturday. And so we'll come back in here and look at our April weekly budget and see how it changes and how it increases, which I'm very excited about. And so I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and turn on your notifications so that you don't ever miss a video. And again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.